Imagine you're on your way somewhere when you suddenly see an animal that needs your help. Could you just walk right by, or would you save the poor animal? Today we're going to show you the most incredible examples of when animals ask people for help and people answer the call. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse for this abandoned dog, he got electrocuted. The next 5 minutes of his life were critical, but miraculously, he came back to life.
Caraca!
This one-day-old deer was already out on an adventure all alone when it quickly found itself in a dangerous situation.
Well, let's see if she gets out. Back up, Anthony. The mother won't like that.
Thankfully, this family saw the situation unfold and helped the animal to survive its first day.
The one on the other side, grab her out. Just grab her out. But when you get her out, just let her go because the mother's not going to be happy. Go ahead. Just let her go. It's okay. She just won. But then leave her. Just back up. Let's get away from her. Let the mother come.
In a heartbreaking incident captured on camera, a man can be seen pulling over by the side of the road and callously pushing his German Shepherd out of the vehicle. As the man hastily drives away, the distressed but loyal pup chases after its owner's car, but to no avail. Thankfully, several compassionate bystanders witnessed the incident and managed to rescue the pup.
Just a puppy.
They immediately called animal services to get assistance for the dog, and the police were eventually able to arrest the dog's heartless owner. This poor deer couldn't see anything and was sure it was being stalked by a predator, but to the animal's surprise, it turned out to be its savior instead.
Look at these little guys.
On his way to work, this man found 3 seemingly abandoned kittens. The poor things were frozen into the ice and had been there all night. Luckily, this kind-hearted man sacrificed his morning coffee to free the poor little creatures.
Don't drink the coffee here. Let me have it. Someone dumped you guys, eh? That's okay.
Trying to circumvent man-made infrastructure to carry on with your grazing journey is really difficult for wild animals, like this deer who had to jump over a fence but got its foot stuck in a difficult position. But thankfully, there are people like this guy who go out of his way to free the poor animal.
Easy.
This family woke up to freshly fallen snow on Thanksgiving Day and ran out to the front door to play in it. But the fun wouldn't last long, because after a couple of minutes they found a frozen, lifeless kitten.
We are bringing a cat back to life right now, everyone.
So they scooped it up, rushed it inside near the fireplace to warm it up, and miraculously, after hours of warmth and care and a little kitty CPR, the little guy came back to life.
Warm, not warm, but not completely stiff. But maybe not, maybe gone.
This sloth found itself washed far from shore and in the middle of heavy boat traffic, but luckily, these guys just happened to be passing by and offered to give him a free ride.
You shouldn't feel like a fish out of water.
There you go.
When James saw a Facebook post about some deer stuck in the middle of a frozen lake, he called up his dad and they broke out their hovercraft.
Let's grab that other leg.
They pulled off a father-son rescue mission unlike anything you've ever seen. A humpback whale, one of our planet's most majestic creatures, was found stranded on a beach in Brazil. Astounding footage taken by amazed onlookers shows how tears stream down the whale's face as if it's mourning its own death. But then, the unthinkable happened. These heroes came together and managed to push the whale back into the ocean, saving its life. After spending 2 weeks in the rescue center, this swan is finally returned to its partner. This baby deer might not be the most clever yet, so he's very lucky to have some kind hunters nearby. After being stuck in a fence for hours and finally freed, the young fawn ran to the other side of the property and got stuck in another fence.
And he went through the fence.
We're naming him Fence Fawn.
It's Fence Fawn. Fence Fawn.
The fawn was eventually freed for the second time and safely transported to a trail several hundred feet away where it could return to the foothills and reunite with its mother. This skunk had already lost hope that anyone would come and save it. That was until this man gave it quite a surprise.
Homie, don't try to flex on me. Get out of here.
Believe it or not, a pack of wild pigs actually brought their kids to play at the playground. All except for 2 of the piglets were able to find their way out, so people had to call the fire department to help the other 2. Trapped 20 feet down a well, this leopard is in a whole lot of trouble. But luckily, help is at hand, and villagers spent 12 hours rescuing the dangerous animal. When it was finally out, forest officials transferred the leopard to a zoo where it would be safe. This cat pays a high price for leaving the safety of its yard. It's awful to think what could have happened if this man had not come to the rescue. On a cold winter day, this kitten was lying by the roadway, almost completely frozen in ice. Several cars passed by, but nobody stopped to help the dying animal until this hero showed up. He scooped it up and took it inside to warm it up before rushing it to the animal clinic. Unfortunately, the kitten's tail was too frostbitten and had to be partially amputated. But most importantly, the kitten survived and found itself a new loving home. This couple are not only heroes, they're also very smart. While other people try to push out a trapped animal, this couple uses a jack and makes it look easy. When these ducklings fell into the water and couldn't get up, their mother called for help, and help came quickly. This man did not hesitate to go into the water and reunite the ducklings with their worried mother. Those guys are true heroes. This cat managed to get its head stuck in a container after attempting to steal some milk in India. But thankfully, the locals were not mad at the cat for trying to steal their milk, and the container was eventually pulled off the feline's head and it was set free. During a drought, this farmer gives a porcupine some much-needed water. This marten was drowning after trying to swim across a river. The animal was so tired that it asked these fishermen for help, and luckily, they were kind enough to give it a ride back to shore. When a dog fell through the ice into the freezing cold water, it didn't even take a second until this hero ran to its rescue. The dog was terrified and at first didn't know his intentions. But eventually, he managed to drag the dog to safety. 30 dolphins were found stranded on a beach in Brazil. That's when a group of upstanding citizens decided to come together and help save the precious animals and get them back to the ocean where they belong. They each grabbed a dolphin and pulled them out to sea where it was deep enough for them to swim away. A group of vicious street dogs ganged up on a defenseless cat. The cat tried to fight them off, but to no avail. But suddenly, this man sees the incident and rushes to scare away the cruel dogs and save the poor cat's life. When a German Shepherd was clinging onto the edge of the ice to not fall into the freezing cold water, this man came up with a clever idea to save the desperate animal. He grabbed a shovel and used it to give the dog the little push it needed. A terrified penguin managed to jump onto a boat just in time to escape a pod of killer whales.
Now the orca's gonna jump in.
The kind people then took it to safe waters, far away from the predators. Here's yet another incident where a pack of ruthless street dogs gang up on a poor cat. The tiny kitten managed to put up a courageous fight until a man saw the incident from his balcony and started yelling and throwing things at the dogs to scare them away. This man put his own life in danger to save a distressed wolf. The man used his one hand to try and free the wolf's paw from the trap, while using his iron rod to safely keep the beast at a distance. The animal was in excruciating pain, so it took him a few tries. But when it was finally released from the trap, the dangerous animal stayed there in a tense standoff with its savior.
Get out of here. Go on. He's exhausted.
Wildlife workers in Kruger National Park in South Africa found a buffalo herd that was stuck in mud. They had tried all night to get out, but instead, they had just sunk deeper and deeper. Now, buffaloes, especially when they're in distress, are very dangerous to approach, making it a very risky rescue mission. But these guys decided to take that risk in order to save them. After getting all that help from wildlife workers who saved their lives, this is how the buffaloes thanked them. Like, come on man, don't be rude. You gotta show some gratitude around here. This man saw his neighbor's cat with a tiny bird in its mouth. Luckily, the fluffy hunter wasn't hungry, so the man made up his mind to help the little creature. The chickadee hatchling was almost without good feathers and with its eyes closed. It was barely moving and extremely cold, so the rescuer warmed the poor thing with his breath and then made a simple incubator for it. The man tried nursing the chick, but it refused to open its beak. So that's when he came up with a very clever solution. He went back to the nest where the chick had supposedly fallen out from and recorded the sounds of its mother. Then he played the sound near the little chick, and all of a sudden it started to eat like crazy. And after a couple of days, it got strong enough to survive on its own and reunite with its worried mother. These guys found a house that looked abandoned with a cat that was stuck inside. The cat was crying for help, so they decided to force the window open and save it.
Jeez.
This farmer just got back from mowing when he spotted one of his cows stuck in a ditch.
She's more important than my willies. Down there.
Together with his dad, he got his tractor and grabbed some tools for the tricky rescue mission.
Go through there. Saw that. I thought something's wrong there. Me being the farmer in me, she's doing a green poo, so that means she might be alright.
Look how happy the other cows are to finally reunite with their friend.
That's what we want to see.
When an enraged and confused leopard had fallen into a deep well, these locals decided that they were going to save its life. They knew that they were playing with fire, so first they tried to lower a cage in order to then pull up the dangerous animal. But as you might have guessed, the leopard was not very keen on entering the cage. So then, in a spectacular and high-risk rescue, the guy sacrificed himself to be lowered down and try to persuade the animal, and it actually worked. Cows might be cute, but they're not the most clever animals out there. Here's another cow that got stuck in the mud where farmers had to drag it out with a tractor. A man's quick thinking saved this little kitten from being run over by a car. A woman rescues a clumsy kitten from being buried under the snow. It's not always animals that need support, sometimes humans do too. So when this farmer felt sad and lonely, these dogs fetched the cows to cheer up their owner together. Make sure to comment down below which of these clips warmed your heart the most, and please leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Thanks for watching, see you next time!